We're going to learn a new workflow today. I'm going to use AI. I'm going to use Claude specifically to go through the workflow on how I actually create the outline and the frame for a website that I then bring into WordPress because I still think the front end on AI isn't really the greatest. And you got more control using WordPress anyway. So we're going to get into it. So this is the workflow with Claude AI, planning everything out and then bringing it all into WordPress. Let's go. All right, first thing we're going to do is we're going to open up Claude and we are going to prompt it. Now, if you haven't been using Claude or ChatGPT or anything like that to really get your brand voice dialed in, I am going to I've actually put together a whole system to help get you to that point. By the time this releases, it should be available. So make sure you check the description below. If the reason I say that is because Claude really memorizes everything. Like it has a huge memory, and so does ChatGPT and a lot of these other AI platforms. So the more you use it, the more it gets you to that point where you need to be. If you haven't done it, start talking to it and ask it to create your brand voice for you. You'll give it some prompts, give it some ideas, and let it know. Right now, this knows pretty much all about my company, Full Quiver Coffee. So when I tell it what I need, I don't have to reference up that point again. Okay. So I'm going to put a quick prompt in here and then share it with you. All right. So I'll kind of walk you through this a little bit. Right now, I'm just telling it I need a website for Full Quiver Coffee. That's my other company. I said I need you to lay it out. I need you to lay it all out for me from our previous discussions because it has all of that information already. And then just to kind of serve as a reminder, I want to give it the business, like what the business does, who it serves, so part of the audience, and some ideas of what I want to be on the homepage. And then I'm going to kind of go back and forth with it to make sure everything is nailed down. I always like to end it with ask me any clarifying questions that you need before you build anything out. So let's do that. All right. So I told it a little bit about the company. It already knows most of it. And I gave it my audience, like I just previously said, and then asked me clarifying questions. Now, this is important. I wanted to ask me before it builds anything out because if you just let it go, it might just start building something and you don't really know what it's going to produce. Now, the main thing here is I'm not really looking for an amazing front end design. What I'm looking for is for a header, a hero section, and a couple sections underneath. And as it asks me questions, I'm going to lead it towards that before it starts building out. Because ultimately, what I want is just a guide, not necessarily an entire design, but a good guide that I can follow that I can say, oh, great, this is my hero section. Here's my header. Here are the call to actions. This is what I need to build. And then it's just a lot easier for me to build it once it's on WordPress. So I'm going to hit this. And let's kind of follow through and see what this asks me. So now it's working, looking for the context, which it has. Full Quiver Coffee is a faith-based family lifestyle brand, not a direct coffee seller. I tried that. That's not the route. Until we get a coffee shop, pray about it. Um, Brew, Learn, Grow. We're going to focus on skills, entrepreneurship, and Bible teachings for families and parents. Monetization ideas. Yep, that's what we discussed. Previously built a homepage mock-up. I don't remember. Maybe it did. That's actually pretty cool. Before I start building anything, here's my first clarifying question. What is the primary action you want visitors to take when they land on the homepage? That's great. And I love that it also just gives me different information here that I can, push. So let's see. What's the first action I want visitors to take when they land on the homepage? This is something you got to think about for your own business. It will give you suggestions. If you don't know, you can just ask it. So let's just start with, let's see. All right, so I'm going to say subscribe to an email list because I don't want to force anybody right away onto the community part of it. I kind of want to nurture them. I know people may not just jump on. How many times have you done it? You just go on a site, it says join our community, and you're like, yeah, bro, not yet. How much is it? What are you offering? What's included? So we want to kind of bring everything to light first before we go in for the hard close, right? So when someone goes on a website, don't just say join my community. Um, let them browse around. Let's see what it is. So I'm going to say subscribe to an email list. Um, also want to highlight the blog posts, highlight the courses, and maybe some merch. I'm going to say one thing I want to do is not go straight for the hard sale, but nurture them into it, right? So, to me, it's important that they know what the brand is, what we do, and how we work above everything else. That's what I want people to know because we're building a brand. We're not building a quick join my platform thing. All right. Solid brand philosophy, lead with identity and value, let the relationship do the selling. Yep. What platforms are you planning to use for the actual website? I'm going to say WordPress and let Claude do its thing. And it's going to keep on going until it finally comes up with a solid idea of what you're looking for. Do you have an existing WordPress theme or page builder in mind, or do you want me to design this as a custom HTML, CSS? Yes, this one. I do, but I want you to create the custom so I can use it as no, I'm not even gonna say that. I'm just gonna tell it that's what I want. It has to be clean and modern, easy to follow and engaging. Let's see what it says. Last question. What is the color palette vibe you're going for? And for here, I'm just gonna say take a look at my website. Take a look at my current website. And you can tell it whatever you want. If you have another website that you like the colors on, if you find like a theme or some template somewhere and you say, I like this look, this is what I'm going for, share it. Share it with Claude. It'll take it, it'll extract what it extracts, and it's going to build you something awesome. So I'm going to give it fullquivercoffee.com. Use those colors. So now it's going to say searching the web, and it should start building something, and let's see what it comes up with. So you can see right now it's searching the web, and this is the kind of thing you want to get around. Like you want to do color, brand voice, audience, and sometimes I'll even upload a logo, not all the time because again, I'm not really using it as the final source. I'm just using it as a guide, but as much information as you can give it will produce a much better outcome. Can you describe the colors? I'll just do a screenshot. So let's do a screenshot real quick and put this on. All right, so here is this. This is the what I currently have now, which I honestly really like, but we're just changing direction and going through a lot of different things here. You can see I have the floating card, I have the SEO add-on in there, so we'll worry about all that stuff later. Right now, if you don't have this cool plugin, it's called Awesome Capture, and you literally just click it and you can have it do a full screenshot of the entire page and then just copy it. So there's the screenshot. I'm going to go right here, click copy. Now it's copied to my clipboard. Let's get rid of this and then let's paste it into Claude and say, here you go. Here's the screenshot. Send it. And now Claude is going to take a look at it. It's going to see the colors, the styles, all that fun stuff. White text, dark text, da, da, da. I have everything I need. Let's build this out now. All right. Reading the front end design skill, make sure you have that active in your settings. There's a list of skills that you can check on and off. There is a design skill in there. So make sure you check that off. So I'm going to pause the video and then we'll come back once it has something. Boom, and here it is. Check this out. It actually did a pretty good job. I mean, this is pretty awesome. A little too dark for me. I'm not really crazy about the browns, but like whatever, that doesn't matter. So we've got coffee, entrepreneurship, discipleship. Perfect. Where faith, family, and community meet. That's actually pretty cool. It's not just of course, I'm going to change this content. I hate when it does that stuff. It's a gathering place, a home base for families who want to grow in their faith, sharpen their skills, and build something that lasts. Yeah. Bible teaching, skills learning, entrepreneurship. I actually like this. So I'm going to have to figure out how to do this and keep it nice um, in Thrive themes. We'll figure it out. I might change the colors up a little bit, but I do like this, the different fonts. Um, and this right here. So let's see who we are. We're not here to sell you something. We're here to grow alongside you. That's cool, except we are going to sell memberships, so and merch and other stuff. So we got to work on the content a little bit. Full Quiver Coffee is built for the family. Is built for the family that's done doing life alone. Whether you're homeschooling, building a side business, studying scripture, or trying to be more intentional, there's a seat at the table. I like that. We're gonna do this. We need to work on the content. Um, I don't like having M dashes everywhere. Like that's the was it telltale sign that AI is being used in your content. So we're getting rid of M dashes. Um, please remove those. Also, you said we're not here to sell something, but we are, so we have to work on that. Get the good stuff for free. Let's see. There's no pictures on here, which I don't like, and I'm gonna show you a little trick that we can do to actually get the pictures to show up. It's really cool. But let's see what we got here. From the blog, learn to be encouraged, stay equipped. Yep, that's perfect. Courses for families who want to grow. That's perfect. And I might just build an AI system for the courses and just have a subdomain for all the backend stuff that I want to do on the website. Mainly because one, I don't want to flood WordPress with a bunch of different plugins, and I gotta have the what's it called? The community plugin. I gotta have the courses plugin. I gotta have WooCommerce just to sell the courses. It's gonna be a pain in the butt. And I know I can do it with Thrive themes, which is actually really cool. So I'm gonna have to make a decision of just going into Cursor or Vibe coding, just making my own course launcher or using the plugin. I'm not sure yet. If I stick with Thrive, I might use the Thrive one because it already integrates, it already works with it, and it's really, really neat. But I just don't, I don't know. Thrive is just, it's on like this in between space for me. I love using it, but I just not happy with the direction. But whatever. Who am I? All right. Also said you were not here to sell something, but we are, so we have to work on that. Let's see. Courses for families is perfect. Um, we're going to do courses as well as digital product. Let's see, merch that means something. Great. A community that grows together. Yep. Join the community for free. The community is not free. The community isn't free. So please don't say that. My son's here. I don't know if you can hear him. Let's see. Perfect. 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 All right. Now we're going to say, oops. Now this is the trick right here. Check this out. Let's shrink this up so you can see what's right here. I'm going to say there are no images. Please use a service like Unsplash to put in the proper images. Use use them as backgrounds and any anywhere else you see fit. So what this is going to do is Unsplash has an API. I think it's Unsplash or Pixabay or something. Let me see. Please use a service like Unsplash or Pixabay, etc., to put in the proper images anywhere you see fit. They have this thing where you can put the URL slash something, the size of whatever the image is, and then it'll pull that image into your front end design. And it's great to work with Claude, but the thing is it doesn't show up in here. It won't show up. It's going to show up blank. So what we'll have to do is just download it and then open it up on a browser, and that's where it'll actually work. So let's see what this just said. How would you describe the community pricing model? Membership base. What? I don't think that matters. Yeah, just say join the community. Just say join the community. And eventually I have it. I'll probably do something cheap, like $9 a month, 99 bucks for the year, something like that. Uh, it's gonna be fun though. Already started the foundations community. That's actually working out really, really nice. Doing Bible studies on Thursdays, and I'm gonna start having some deep discussions with my uncle actually, which is really I'm looking forward to that because those conversations get crazy. So yeah, it's happening, man. God is awesome. So just working on those things and little by little, I know all this stuff is gonna work out. Glad you guys are riding with me. So let's see. Full reroute of the Coffee homepage. All right. Let me step away, let this thing do its thing, and I'll come right back right when it's done. All right, so check it out. Here is the new output with the new content, and you can see there's things that are a little different. So my assumption is that it put the images back here. Let's see, Unsplash, blah 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 blah. All right, we've got a different section here. I'm gonna spruce that up a little bit. Here's my collection. You can see the different images that go here, but they're broken right now. We've got images because you can see they're broken right here. We've got some icons, and then we've got more images. So let's actually pull this into Chrome and see what it came up with. And you can see it says right here, open in Chrome. So I'm going to click that. Hold on. All right, just click that. And that is sick. Look at that. So this is already giving me a good idea, good direction, and where I kind of want to go. You can see the put the images here already. We've got what is this resources built to help you move forward. This is perfect. Free, paid, free premium. And in full quiver, we one of the plans is to offer a lot of different resources. So like I said, I'm going to have that prompt kit available. It's going to be available here and on Tech Simplified. So keep an eye out for that. I love that it put all the images in. It makes like such a huge difference to see the images in the background. So there it is. That's kind of how this works. Now, one thing I do want to do also is this is one look, right? I want to try a totally different look and then just see what Claude can do. So let's go back into Claude and let's say this is great. I want to get a completely different look as well with some lighter colors. Can you give me a whole new design that I can take a look at that's completely different than this one? And I want to compare it. I want to compare it because the first output isn't always the same. And then when I go into building, I might not have it look exactly like this. Like I think this looks pretty cool here, but I mean, I don't know, is it practical? Like once it goes into this section, it gets kind of hard to read. And then am I going to have people click this? So this is just the thought process that goes into it. What do I want people to do? I don't want them to join the community. I'll say sign up, read the blog. These are the different things that we do. I'll have free teachings on there. Just a lot of different things for families, for fathers, for mothers. It's going to be really cool. But design wise, I'm just looking at it and there are certain things that I may want to change. Although I really do love this a lot. Maybe I'm getting older. Some of this text is harder to read. I want bigger fonts. And then if I make the fonts bigger, is it going to work as well as this layout works? So you got to kind of keep all those things in mind. But this is a great start to something. And I do really enjoy this look. I like this combination with the fonts here. I'm not sure if I'm crazy about this. And you can just keep going back and forth with Claude to see what it is that you like, what it is that you want, what it is that you want to get out of it. So let's take a look. Let's see. It's still building right now. So just keep those things in mind. So let's take a look at the second thing it outputs. And then the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to bring this design and we're going to bring it into WordPress. But I'm not going to do that on this video. I think this video is carrying on a little longer than initially what I thought. So let's take a look at the second design and then we'll wrap things up. Whoa, check this out. Really, really different. You have a split navigation on top. You have the name right here. Oops, cancel. You can see there's an image here. It's all broken right now. I like this a lot better than the other one because I just think it's clearer. The text is too tiny for me though. But look, we have Bible teaching, skills and learning, entrepreneurship, everything else. Let's look at this on the browser and really get a feel for it. Boom. I like that. I actually like that a lot. So we've got a place for families to grow. Obviously, spacing issues right there. But look, the images came in. This looks really nice. I like the blog from the other one though. Not crazy fan of this one. Learn at your own pace. So, now we can mix and match. There's things that I like on here. There's things that I like on the other one. I like this a lot better. I think this is cleaner with the image and the content with the little check boxes. I think that's great. We've got a cleaner quote here. Nice clean footer. This is better in some sense to me. So now we have our designs in place, and now I can mix and match, and I can even use some of the heroes in Thrive themes to kind of turn it into something that I think is going to be great for the person who's actually jumping on the website. So that's what it is. I hope this helped you with this workflow. This is what I do for pretty much all of my websites. I'll go into Claude, I'll have some conversations with it, get the information out, and then make it do the content within um, an HTML website. So now I know exactly where everything goes. So hopefully this helped you. If you've got different workflows, let me know. Like, subscribe, comment, and yeah, let's keep this going. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for sticking around. God bless.